coming from a non-disclosed location near Nashville, Tennessee, we bring the Hump Day Hombres. With your host will be Wally Parks. Hey, my good hombres. Welcome back to another episode of Hump Day Hombres. And I kind of saw the week, or the week just seemed to kind of swirl away from me, and here it is Wednesday morning already again. And so I wasn't real prepared to do a show this week. I even thought about, maybe taking a week off, but instead what I'm going to do is get up this morning. A couple of things. May not be a full 30-minute show today, but what I thought I would do is kind of share a little bit on some things that I am going through and doing at this time. For example, I have a song that I wrote this week, or not this week, but this month, a couple of weeks ago, and I got out and I recorded it in my living room, and it's kind of a mess in there. I hadn't done any recording, since probably back in April, and maybe even before I knew that I had this syndrome going on. But what I thought I would do is get out and record, and so next thing I know, I'm trying to do a instrument that I needed to get recorded into it because it doesn't have electronics on it. And what a mess. I mean, I spilled a whole cup of coffee on the floor during the process. I had cables all over the place. I may go in there and just show you a picture of it of this episode today. So this place turned into a mess here. Like I said, there's all kinds of cables in there and paper and recording equipment. What a mess it turned into. Laying over here was all the coffee out here. You can see it kind of covered a little bit of my rug over there on the floor. But man, that was a mess. But that's the process of music, So it kind of fits with the whole episode of Hump Day, because I feel like it's a hump day for me. And, it's kind of like the week's been rough. But the good news is, the week is coming to an end too. Whatever your week may be. My week is a lot different than it used to be when I had a regular day job. And so, anyway, I thought I'd share a little bit about that. Kind of part of the process for me this week that they got me behind was some changes that they did on some medication that help with sleep. And so I'm doing better on that front. I'm doing better on some of my medication for my diabetes that I have, type 2. And so that's gotten much better much better results from that. But one of the downsides of it comes with some of the medication changes that we did, as well as I'm now past my hump day of getting my radiation and chemo session, which was 6 weeks. And I started back on January 3rd, and it's now down to, or maybe it was January 4th. But anyway, yeah, it was January 3rd. Anyway, now I'm down to 2 weeks left. So, but one of the side effects that I've been dealing with this last week has been having low energy, and that was to be expected. They told me that I'd have a lower energy level would be happening, and so like for example, I slept Well, I used to be getting up around 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning because of the steroids they had me on. And I'd wake up and I'd be up till the sun came up, and even beyond that for the day. Sometimes just getting like 3 or 4 hours of sleep, and then maybe sleeping an hour or two in the middle of the day. But that stuff gives you a lot of energy when you're on it. And so I found that doing that was something that I began to see that decrease, and that it increased my feeling lower level of energy level. And I ended up down on a level of medication that is working really good for me. But I feel tired from it. And so I ended up, I'm rambling right now. I'm going to redo part of this session here. I'll probably edit that out. So let me go back to what I was saying about the medication. Is that I'm seeing that like yesterday, I slept 5 hours in the middle of the day, along with waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then doing all my treatment sessions. Came back home and slept for about 5 hours through the afternoon, late morning and afternoon. And then I went to bed probably 10 o'clock last night and slept till about I woke up for a while about midnight, but I did go back to sleep and woke up about 4 this morning. So that's good for me. Getting all that rest and sleep that I need, but it just, when I wake up, I feel kind of groggy from it, and so it's a lot different than where I might be sleeping a lot but feeling rested from it. So anyway, what that leads to, though, is that song that I was telling you about was a song that I wrote back in a couple of weeks ago. That was about how, let's see, the name of my song. What's the name of my song? I Am the Night Owl. So I wrote this song that night called I Am the Night Owl, and just set it aside and got back busy with it this morning after I woke up. And I thought, I'm going to record that and get that recorded down for today anyway. It's not bad recording of it, but it was just messy. And so I'm going to play that for you in a little bit. And that was about all I had, other than one of the things I thought I'd do today. It's still early. It's about a little after 6 and 6 a.m. And I thought I'd give you guys a little overview of Union Hill. You guys know my studio has been renamed Union Hill Productions, and I started this project because I live right at Union Hill area, and there is an actual Union Hill road, and so there's some history behind that. So I'll give you a little bit of information about that as well. Now, as you can see, I filled out about 8 minutes of time already. See, just rapid, trying to, go from my brain here to tell you what was kind of going on. I hope that made some sense to you all anyway. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and get the album, or not the album, but the song on here for you, so you can hear that. And then we'll add on a little bit more history about Union Hill and why it's so special to me. I love it up here. In fact, I'm going to just be quiet for a second and listen to how quiet it is up here. So there were dove out there hooing and cooing this morning. Probably a kind of crow was out there making a noise on the tree. That's what I love about being out here. It's just in a very peaceful place for me to live, and I'm grateful for that. So anyway, enjoy the morning, enjoy the day, and let's make the best of it that we can on Hump Day Hombre. So Union Hill was started when Dry Creek Road came up over the ridge and came across the top of the mountain up here. And that crosses over onto Brick Church Pike. Now, Brick Church Pike goes to the right and the left when you leave here. That could count as 2 roads or it could count as 1. And they actually call that one on the right New Brick Church Road. And what happens is you start driving across, you'll see that we're going across Union Hill Road. We come down about a half a mile to 3/4 of a mile down, you hit Lower Walker's Creek Road. And as you go less than a half a step up to the Marathon gas station or Galbraith Market, and it makes a right turn. And then you make a left turn real quick on Union Hill Road, and you come down, there's Luster Road. So now there's 4 roads, and you go up here to Union Hill Road, and back there was Greer Road. So in that 2-mile church or so, you've done that. Now, Union Hill Road does continue. You'll see it goes across quite a ways, about 5-6 miles over to Jolton. And in Jolton is where it ends. It comes out, there's Crocker Springs Road, there's Ivy Point Road, which goes by a neat little place where they have a racing track out there. And Union Hill Road cuts off again, and it comes up, and it dies right here as you come up on, like I said, the end of the road up here. Well, it actually crosses over 24, and then it ends when it hits Clay Lick Road. So that road is probably in total about, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 miles long. But that's where it got its name. So there you go. There's Union Hill Road. I'm sorry, this is Union Hill Road where it starts. And up there is Brick Church Pike going down. Now we're going to drive on down Union Hill Road a little bit further. You see we've got a church, the Union Hill Baptist Church up here. Starting over here on that side. And one of the things that's interesting about it out here in Tennessee, you see a lot where you'll have family places where people are passed away, and you can have family currents or props where people can be at. It's really common around the church. However, I'll show you one down the street where there's actually another bunch of place where people are buried. I can't think of the name right now. Sorry about that. I'm gonna go down just a little bit further and you'll see this family up on the side of the road. So we passed Brick Church Pike, so that's one road that starts. And here's another road out there. Flower or grave sites over here. Now we're back on. sign on a road up here anymore. Somebody ran it over, I guess. But this is Lower Walker's Creek. And that has another church down at the bottom of that one of these times. I'll show you that, because that's been here in Union Hill since, gosh, back in, that's been, so that was Union Hill, Lower Walker's Creek Park, or road, and that's been there since the 1800s. Probably rebuilt at some point. So we're coming up on a little break of roads. I've shown you this in one of my episodes. This is Union Hill Elementary School. Going by there, and that's in one of my first or second episodes that I did out there. But we're coming up on what's called Licton Pike. So Union Hill makes a right turn. It does not go to the left because that's Licton Pike. So it kind of merges into the road here. And we're going to go by Galbraith Road, Galbraith Grocery, which has a long history here in this town of Union Hill. And that was the Galbraith family. He's one of the people that does one of the books I do. So Licton Pike goes off to the right, and Union Hill heads to the left. And so we're going to start on Union Hill right there. Now we go down, so that's road, 3 roads that we've crossed. And we're going to go up, come around. I know people are going to get mad at me if I'm driving slow, but that's too bad. Okay, so now we're coming around on our, let's see, 1, 2, 3. This is our 4th road that it comes into, is Luster Road. Luster Road goes downhill and connects into, as you can see, we're on Union Hill. Luster Road goes down and ties back into Licton Pike. Come up to our 5th road over this little section here, depending on how you do your math. But up here at the top, Union Hill makes a complete 90-degree left turn. Out towards Cholton, a little town called Cholton. So this here is the Union Hill Trading Post. Now, I don't know how long it's been here. Been here for quite a while. And anyway, it got reopened about 2 years ago. Deborah and I actually did a open mic night out here one night, and this is the legendary Union Hill Trading Post, and it's actually become a pretty hot little place for bikers and families. I mean, they do all kinds of stuff out here. You can have music, you can do corn boat, how they call it, corn boat. I don't know how you say it, but anyway, they got those corn post things that you throw at and play that. They got fire pits out here. They got a pool hall inside, and they have food here that you can buy. And so anyway, this right here turns into Greer Road to the right. And that goes down that way, and Union Hill's going to head on that way. Now, I'm not going to stay on there all this time, but this just shows out the 5 roads that come together that made this place famous for what it is. Union Hill Road was made over about 1.5 miles, maybe close to 2 miles. There is one other place I can show you too that's pretty cool by it. There is a racetrack. It's not a quarter runner, it's a eighth runner racing track, and I'll take you over there one evening when we got that going on there. It's out there every Friday and Saturday night. They're out there playing, having fun, playing around. Anyway, I'll finish up the rest of the episode here. Thanks for joining me. Now in this next section, I'm going to bring up the song that I wrote a couple of weeks ago and recorded this morning. This is titled, I Am the Night Owl. Hope you enjoy. I am the night owl. I will fly out through the night. I am the night owl. I will be there through the night. Gonna carry through the sunrise and rest until tonight. Been 40 days straight since I've been out on this sky. Been 40 nights straight. Don't know if I will die, but gonna keep on moving, oh, even if I cry. Let's go. That world's been changing, going faster every day. The world's been changing. They say heaven's on the way. Gonna bring me a new sun in the morning. Gonna shout and start new day. Now the owl keeps flying, flying out through the night. The owl stays flying, gonna carry through the night. And when I wake up in the morning, gonna see a glory night. Well, y'alls, looks like we got just enough time for one story from the Tennessee Redberry Tales. So this one's called The White Ghost. And this was also printed back in the day in the Tennessee newspaper, or the Tennessean, I'm sorry, the Tennessean newspaper. So this is the white ghost. You folks know all kinds of strange things happen in a graveyard. Spooks, lights of all kinds, noise, ghosts, goblins and stuff. This is no dark like the graveyard dark. It's darker than 1,000 midnights on the tan back. Now there was this fellow, a man called Cornelius. He was scared of every and anything. Cornelius had a brother which lived out on Dry Creek Road. To visit his brother's house, he had to walk by the church graveyard. So as boys we decided to scare Cornelius because we knew he would come by the graveyard after dark, after returning from his brother's. When the graveyard extended to the road, we put a rope over a limb of a tree and tied a white sheet to the rope so it could be pulled up in front of the poor Cornelius. Sure enough, here comes Cornelius down the road. There was no light of any kind, and he wasn't wasting any time either. Just as he got even with the first boy hiding in the bushes, the boy let out a groan and shoot the bushes. He shook them up. Cornelius picked up his pace kind of fashionable, like fast-like. Then the second boy let out a big groan and made the bushes weave and blow. Old Cornelius really picked up his pace to a full run. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, this white ghost rose right up on old Cornelius' face. There was a blood-curdling yell. Then he whipped out his big revolver and put 6 of the biggest black holes you ever seen right in the middle of that nice new sheet. The old saying, he who laughs last, laughs best, sure is true. You see, we borrowed that new sheet from Mom without her consent. How are we going to explain 6 big holes into a bed sheet? Oh my. Shouldn't have messed with Cornelius, huh? Well, anyway, that brings us to a conclusion of today's show. We're glad you're here. I'm glad I made it. Hope I got something sensible for you today. And gave you a few updates on what's been happening with me and, just some good things going on. That new song, I'll work on that a little bit more. Anyway, I'm glad y'all came on, and we'll see you next week, hopefully, on Union Hill. And our show is Hump Day Hombres. Thanks, everybody. Come on back.